They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. If a picture's worth 1,000, I wonder what a portrait's worth. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Appreciate those who are here. Please don't forget to hit the like. Now, oh, hey, Kenzen. And to those who are here, please come in. Don't forget to hit the like. This is only going to be um, just a quick chat. If anybody, if anybody knows what this image is, feel free to type it in the chat. See, I don't want to get too deep into what it is. Some people would say it comes from the world of tarot. Some people would say it comes from the world of dark magic. You started watching the documentary. Is it worth watching? Yes, it is Diddy's tattoo. This is his back. Oh no, sweetheart. It's much deeper than mother and child. What I will say is, for those who study the occult and for those who are in the dark arts, this is yes, I do. I do have a new interview. No, it's not Black Madonna. It's not. It is attached to Santeria. Yes. What I will say is that if you're a Satanist, this tattoo would be like an open admission of how much you love Satan, you know? It would be like an overly zealous Christian getting like a huge tattoo of the cross on their back. No, it's not Oshun. What I will say is anyone who's crazy enough to get that image tattooed on their back, they're dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight, and they have no want, care, or need to come back. Yes, that's Diddy's back. Yeah, I saw the necklace. Of course, we all saw the. You know what? For those who didn't see the necklace, there you go. Like, it's the thing that trips me out with people. They really don't want to accept or embrace what's right there in their face. They don't. They don't want to accept it. They don't want to embrace it. They don't want to pay it any attention. You know, being able to dismiss all of Diddy's antics as, oh, he's just a freak. Oh, he's just a bad boyfriend. Another way of acknowledging Dionysus. Yes, yes. You know, if you don't want to acknowledge heaven and hell, if you don't want to acknowledge God and the devil, if you don't want to acknowledge that there are people on this earth, especially in this country, who really worship Satan, then that's fine. You can go ahead. But when they take symbolism like this necklace and they wear it right there in front of your face, when they are so committed, like this is hours and hours and hours of work, hours and hours and hours. The commitment to sit for this thing in multiple sessions. And I don't care how high out of your mind you are on 2 seat. This is work. This is extensive work to offer. It's an offering. You know, when you turn your body into a canvas to to honor Satan, well, I tell you, man, you are committed. You are. You're very committed. You know, a lot of people, I mean, I'm sure he's wishing he was anesthetized now. I can't imagine him getting this thing done without busting a couple gaskets and bleeding a little bit. I just can't imagine. But no, seriously, a lot of people are overlooking a lot of things. Um, and a lot of people are giving a lot of things way too much thought and credit, you know? Like everybody's talking about this guy. And you know what? I'm glad he's getting so much attention these days. I am. He deserves attention. I just wish that people would see him for what he really is. You know, I think a lot of people are so desperate to to look for a hero against this weirdo that they're willing to make anybody, you know, a champion. Um I mean, he's a lovely interior designer, but that's my thing. Like there was a young woman on TikTok who went off. Oh my goodness, she went off. She went back. She started with, what kind of bad person do you have to be for somebody to put 9 slugs in you? And when she started there, I said, my God, my God. She started in hell. You know, it's just interesting to me. All of us are a little out of touch these days, though, in one way or another. The only thing that you can do is pray for those you love and pray that those that hate you get exactly what they deserve. But everybody deserves redemption. I, you know, eh, well, everyone's entitled to redemption. It doesn't mean everybody's going to do what they need to do to secure it. But this guy, this documentary, it's very clever. Very clever. Number one, he was smart at putting Alexandra in play. I just hope she's not who people are saying she is. Hey, and thank you, Hamilton. If she is what people are hinting at she is, or if she is involved with people, whew, that's going to say a whole nother thing. But I've been doing a full breakdown of all four parts of the documentary on my podcast, Jaguar Wright Uncensored. You guys might be interested in hearing some of that commentary. And salute to Natanya Rubin. I see that she went live earlier today and she has some things to discuss. I'm going to have to go over there and give her a play and give her a listen and see what's going on. It's been a minute. But it's kind of looking like all of us who have our heads on straight are really, really, really paying attention to the crafty work at play. There's so many people that aren't mentioned in this documentary. There's so many people that aren't talking in this documentary. Does anybody find it strange that there was really no talk about Mace? Like this thing, so many people that were there. And, I'm not saying that Mace would have done an interview. I don't know why not. Um, I don't know why he wouldn't have done an interview. Alexandra seems to be a credible documentarian, but 50 being a part of it, I don't know. But it would have been really, 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 really interesting. Oh, listen to me. Don't you worry about that, Michael. Everybody needs rest. Oh, it was good tonight. Oh, listen to me. Well, then I can't wait to catch up on the replay, gang. I didn't even know she was live. I've been busy in the studio knocking out these pods. It's it's the end of the night for me. I'll be going to bed soon. But I just wanted to pop on because I just find it funny. Now all of a sudden, 50 and Marlon are going back and forth. Uh Diddy and his family want to sue Netflix for $1 billion. And what else? What else? What else was it? That was really strange. Oh yeah, Ja Rule now wants to sue 50 Cent for implications that he made about him and Diddy. You want to know what I always found funny? When multiple people say the same thing over and over and over again, and then people only want to like single one person to sue. Like my thing is if you're going to sue somebody for so-called allegedly defaming or disparaging your name, then it seems like you would want to sue everybody that was involved in telling that story or lie or spreading that story or lie. Not once have I ever heard Ja Rule. Like it's wild. Like Gene Deal did an interview where he literally said, I mean, Gene, he likes to be slick, but we were all very clear with all of the descriptions that he gave about the guy's height and his voice and all of that, that he said he caught Ja Rule butt naked with Diddy. His cousin was busy trying to get into the room. Gene said he told him he couldn't get into the room. Matter of fact, the story he's told us so many times, it's hard for me to forget because he said he had to pick the guy up and put him in the piano. He was acting so out of hand. And Ja Rule came out butt naked talking about, you don't want to come in here. There's some freaky stuff going on. Well, now that we know what kind of freaky stuff is going on, I mean, freak offs, freaky, right? What was that awful T-shirt that they had at the trial? A Freako ain't a Rico. That was wild. That was wild that they even put that on a T-shirt. A Freako ain't a Rico. But what's even crazier than that is when you really go back and you think about like, gee, the audio is wild, man. The audio is wild. Like when you listen to this documentary and you listen to the way and oh yeah, and let's not forget the lawyers are so upset that they were recorded and that them sitting there telling their client, being caught telling their client, like on some straight devil's advocate. I mean, like the devil's advocate. You hear me? And guys, we talked about this. We talked about the devil's advocate. And it's wild because we said we were going to review that movie, but now with the holiday season coming up and people having more time off from work, maybe now would be time for us to do some movie reviews and, you know, head over to the Patreon and sit down and watch some old films and stuff. Cause I swear to God, like that movie, The Devil's Advocate, it's real shit. Like real shit. These lawyers are demons. RICO charges are your end that the feds aren't. I mean, the funny thing about it is this isn't the first time that somebody's come at Diddy with a RICO. I mean, for crying out loud, if you watch the documentary, Kurt Burrows said his case was made a RICO back in the early 2000s, and that got swept under the rug. Janice had a RICO come at her earlier this year. That kind of got thrown away. I mean, it's just kind of wild. Like, hmm, like it's funny how people want to be feared for the jobs that they do, but then don't ever want to do their jobs. It's kind of strange. No, but just this audio alone, right here. Hold on a second. Let me get the right. This is it. The jury have changed, and so having this emergency call because something has to give. We need the court team to be. You didn't do anything wrong. Y'all hear that? He said when I sit in front of this jury, I want to have a chance.
The jury and have a chance. And so having this emergency call because something has to give. We need the court team to be, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong on any front. And you come to New York and face things head on. Anyone ever paying any attention to what you've actually been doing? You handled this with complete honor. I don't.
What do you mean you handled it with complete honor? Like, this is why I got an issue with this Mark Agnafilo. That's why I call him Mark Agnafafo. Because he gonna F around and find out. Uh, this is the thing. I don't understand why Suge hasn't been side-eyed before now. I told y'all I can respect Suge's gangster, but that's not a man you can trust. He's not. And I think now with all of this on the make, it's going to open the door for a lot of things. But what I find funny is that nobody's paying attention to how this whole situation is being directed, because it is being directed. Salute, you know, salute to old girl Alex Stapleton.
The jury didn't have a chance.
Oh, well, never mind.
Having this emergency call because something has to give. We need the court team to be, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong on any front. And you come to New York and face things head on. Anyone ever paying any attention to what you've actually been doing? You handled this with complete honor. I don't think it's working. I've listened. I've been a superb client, as you said. I jumped on the plane. I'm coming to New York, but I'm just running around waiting for a shoe to drop. We're losing sight of the big picture, man. It's the middle of September, and there's still no indictment. Then you have to have a spokesman. You have to have some sort of comms to constantly be pushing that, Mark. Because you may just be the person that just does. You just may watch CNN. You know what I'm saying? And there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them is on Instagram and TikTok. And so you at the wrong place looking to see what the people with the possible jurors are thinking. We have to find somebody that'll work with us, whether they're from this country or from another country. It could be somebody that has dealt in the dirty business of media and propaganda.
Man, in comes the troll farm. New media. What's up, Set in the West? What's going on?
I was hold on, I got an echo. Yo, yeah, I was gonna say it's funny because 50 was on that cringy weirdo RB Melber. Remember that guy? He was on his show, I think it was today, and he had the Alexia Stapleton chick on there, and
Alexandria.
or whatever. Yeah, Alexandria, right? So
Alex.
Alex. Okay, so 50 said, and I'm thinking 50's, he's supposed to be lyricist, lyrical. He should know the definition of certain words. He mistakenly said adding Alex to the documentary as the director will make this. It will uh it would be it would be detrimental to the story or something. And I think he meant to say instrumental. I couldn't find the clip, but I was looking on academics because I think that's why I saw it. But I happened to go on Axe channel, and then I'm like, oh, he mentioned it. He got your name in your mouth.
Now this documentary's kind of going crazy
He
still.
always got your name in his mouth. Hold on. He said,
Uh, Jaguar Wright has entered the chat once again. I'm about to play what she's been saying. And
I think he's just going over the real life interview. That's all he's doing.
Let me say this. I'm about to take a piss.
Hold on.
Injustice is orchestrated. People know that it happened after.
Hold on. Let me see what he's saying.
It looks like me with Dr. Evil. Ability. Because even if it's not all in his name, even if it isn't all him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very true.
They found a way to tell that story while they kept everybody else clean. Jag, how come you don't think
Episode 2 focus heavily on hold on, I'll play a shorter version. I'm trying to get in the document.
They said he didn't.
Hold on. Let me see what he's referencing. Hold on.
Like everybody has heard about all these things throughout the years. That's the one thing that I love that Kirk Burrow was saying at the end of episode 4 when he first, dropped the.
Okay, so he's hold on, and he comes back.
Christmas morning.
Wait, hold on, shit. God damn it.
It's gonna be their favorite.
This damn commercial.
Let me
All
show you
right.
what this thing.
So Actor Diddy is running our commentary now.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, man. All right.
What does he have to say? This is new, so. And he's always hating.
Sad that we're like, here we go. Here's Gene Deal.
Oh, hold on. He didn't really say. He just played what you played. I mean, he just said what you said. He played what you said, and that was that. He ain't really wait. Let me not play that. Anyway, I got to finish looking at it. I just find it funny. Let me read let me listen to what he's saying in this whole context. But I mean, he's going over the fallout or where everybody is taking this whole situation with this documentary on the internet. So of course, Gene Deal,
They're going all the way around the mulberry bush.
Pretty much.
You know what I wish? I wish they would remember moments like this.
Mm.
They be doing too much.
Well, that's royalty free. You ain't got to worry about that.
Hey, I don't like listening to it.
I know it sucks.
Introduce Salon's son to your song, Shake Something. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. I ain't know how true it was or not. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if it come from in house, it's validated. But that's dope. It don't surprise me. I actually met Beyonce before. That was one of the people be like, "Who you met?" You know what I'm saying? That like it threw you out, like it took you back. Like you know what I'm saying? Beyonce, she I was at a party at Diddy crib in L.A. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me. Right. So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Mm-hmm. Me and maybe about 15 others. Right. Jay-Z and Beyonce being two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to. Right. Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop the whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope. That was super dope.
I recently purchased the most popular glucose meter online and decided.
I think people forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
He was at Diddy's house. Jay-Z and Beyonce were there. Even though they weren't friends and they only, were work associates. They had really nothing to do with each other. But he was there. And then they put everybody out for an after party. because Diddy had really taken a liking to this guy. Look at that smile. You think that smile is freak off approved?
It sure is.
I'm just trying to figure out how in God's name did Alex Spiro get to run that lie and nobody questioned him about anything at all? I'm just curious. There's so many people that weren't in this documentary. There's so many people that didn't get included in this documentary.
Yeah, people are bringing up the fact Gene Deal wasn't included, but that's just the that's not even the main thing. There's a lot of people that you're right. It's like why were they not included? It's very interesting.
Well, can I be honest with you about something? And this isn't me being shady. This is just me keeping it real. All of the bad stuff that Diddy's been accused of doing, all of the bad stuff that it's been said by people that Diddy did, Gene Deal has said openly and honestly, from what he had to say, that he wasn't around for any of it. Matter of fact, Gene Deal has consistently said that he never saw any of this stuff at all. He never saw anything bad. He never saw anything crazy. He was never around for anything. So why would anyone interview him?
Hmm.
No, for real. Like, if you were a bodyguard and somehow every terrible thing that happened around this man missed you, why would anyone need to interview you about that? Like, I'm looking at what Art of Dialogue is doing, and I ain't hating on nobody. Commentary is commentary. People sit with who they want to sit with. But I was a little bothered at that video clip that they put out about him responding to Aubrey O'Day. And I'm like, number one, I don't understand. I don't understand why he would label it responding to Aubrey O'Day. Aubrey didn't say anything to Gene. Aubrey didn't accuse Gene of anything. Aubrey didn't say anything about Gene Deal. So saying in the video, I mean, that is cap. It's clickbait. You making it seem like Gene has an official response to somebody who didn't address him.
Yeah, yeah.
So you capping.
Well, I'm
But
starting to.
it's cool. Clickbait is clickbait. Whatever, I guess.
Well, of course, all these content creators are gonna start start with that. Everything is about engagement or impressions now, views. And this isn't from your don't nobody run and say Jag said this, but I'm starting to doubt. Well, I'm starting to doubt a lot of these content creators, quote unquote content creators. Here's what I'm looking at it. I've always felt this whole YouTube thing, and all the art of dialogue, all of them, Vlad, all of them, Choke, all of them. It's like wrestling. It's like WWE. It's like the conscious community back in the day. There was this whole thing where it was, oh yeah, I'll debate you and I'll debate you and I'll debate you, and they all behind the scenes. It's all fake. It was all fake. It wasn't like a real debate. It was just oh, we're gonna just get this engagement. We're gonna get these people talking. Blah blah blah. It was all fake. Starting to think that's what's been going on for the past couple of years with all these people going on there, all these content, no jumper, all of them. Choke just came out, Choke no joke, And I was listening to Choke for a minute until he started saying some crazy stuff, and I just was like, I had to turn him off. But he recently came out and said, well, Suge's been lying to me the whole time. I've been talking to Suge off the record for the past year, and I caught him in so many lies. And he goes on to, talk about the lies he caught him in. I believe Choke was on Art of Dialogue. I think.
At one point in
Um,
time. Then I
I
think they
think no, I
fell
think
out.
this, but I think this new interview was with Art of Dialogue. I'm gonna double check. But Choke, no, it may Hype. It might have been Hype, Comedy Hype or Hype Plus.
Yeah.
Not to be promoting these others, but I'm just saying I'm looking at everybody right now, and they've all been lying because Choke is like, oh yeah, Suge, I found out he lied. He lied about getting piled to the head and the type of bullet or whatever. Then Reggie came back and was like, no, it wasn't a 45, it was a 40. And Suge's like, you know what? I don't rock with Reggie, but he's right. It wasn't a 45, it was a 40. And then, Choke's like, well, he went to go get the medical records, and Suge didn't have a bullet in his skull. It was all like glass or shrapnel or something. So, that f's up his credibility. But
So
I'm
he got
also looking.
he got, hit up like Megan the Mega
Yeah,
Man
yeah. It's
Mega Man
allegedly,
style.
right? Let's just throw the allegedly, because you know how Desi do. Shout out to Desi, you scuzzy scumbag. Yeah. So, yeah, same thing, same shit, different toilet. Um,
I said
yeah,
Mega
like
Man. If she
I
think her
know.
client is a Mega Man, then that's her problem.
Well, I'm just saying, and I'm always taking shots at that one. It's all good. But yeah, they've all been lying. That's the problem. They've all been lying, and I think all their lies are about to catch up. Even Suge. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but now I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, okay. I think you actually lined Pac up too, because it's starting to look like that. It's been looking like that. I've heard that during the pow powing, Pac tried to get in the jump in the back seat, and Suge held him up like to block him, just like the situation where someone said Suge and Puff when they first got into it, and Jake in the documentary, remember they mentioned him, how
Uh-huh.
somebody rolled up on Suge and Puff at the when the club was getting out, and this
Yeah, and
dude just
drop
walked up to
five.
him,
Not
and
somebody. Mark Curry said it because Mark Curry said he was bouncing. They came outside and he said a dude walked up like a smooth criminal, looked at Suge, and then put five in his boy Jake,
and his boy
and he
Jake,
grabbed he
and he
grabbed
grabbed
Puffy
Diddy.
as a
Yeah,
body shield.
right.
Yeah,
So, and then you look at the fact that, don't get it twisted, Reggie Wright, Suge, they all, that's Compton. They all cool. Reggie Wright is police, and
I know.
Suge is, because Reggie Wright Senior, all that, we know about the corruption that went on with the
I know.
the sheriffs, and
And that's
yeah,
who
yeah,
he
yeah,
had, and that's
and
who he had babysitting death row.
and we all know that fraternity, that blue fraternity, the brotherhood, the police, whatever. Don't get it twisted. Shot Pac powed some cops in Atlanta. Don't think they
Yeah.
ever forgot about that. And they probably was like, hey, sure, you go ahead, you got to handle this, blah blah blah, woo woo. I mean, I'm looking at all these people. Gene Deal, and like I said, this is not Jaguar's opinion. This is set in the West. Gene Deal is looking suspect right now. I don't trust none of these motherfuckers. I think they've all been lying to us the whole way through. That's just what I think. Think Suge lied. Think Gene Deal's been lying. Reggie Wright's been lying. All these motherfuckers on the peripherals, on the outs. I think y'all lying. I'm about to start doing my own thing, and I'm about to start, you know, talking to some people. Okay, you there? Did you leave?
Yeah,
What
I'm just
happened?
giving it a good enough pause so everybody can be clear. That's you said that.
Yeah, I said it. And I know people, don't get it twisted, because when you start talking about uh black police officers and all, Gene Deal, I know you know Tony from Totally Secure, LA. That was my boss. When I told everybody I did security, I told y'all, I was telling y'all the West Side Story with the Shaq situation, working at Glam Slam, me working. I was supposed to work the Jermaine Dupri Jay Z after party for Money Ain't a Thing, that whole album when it dropped. But I sent my boy over there to work. Tony from Totally Secure, he was LAPD. That was my boss. So don't think I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So if I go start knocking on some doors, if I can run into the people that are still alive, because a lot of those people have they've passed
Fast.
on. Yeah, I don't like, you know, and,
But
and
let's be
it ain't
clear.
like I ain't threatening nobody. I'm just
Let's
like
be
I'll
clear.
just
That's
start
no,
knocking
but
on some
let's be
doors.
clear. That's what a lot of people are hoping on. They're hoping on a lot of people being gone and a lot of people having bad memories. They don't like people our age that have good memories. And I'm going to say this, and this is all I'm going to say when it comes to the Aubrey O'Day situation. And I keep my opinion to myself when it comes to Gene and his commentary. Um, I've showed him respect, and you know, I hope he's done the same for me. There's some things that I let slide, especially when it came to that paperwork business. Because the truth is, we weren't going to fuck with paperwork at all.
No, not at first. Remember, I told you. You already know what I said.
And
In fact,
I respected your instincts on that.
it was a good
Mhm.
year before I even. Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, Gene was, oh, paperwork. John's trying to talk to you. Right? Isn't that his name, John?
Yeah. And then we pulled up on them
John's
this
trying to
time
talk.
last year.
John will come. You got to give him a call. And when I think about that day that I got dogpiled on his panel, Gene was there. And then he just ducked out. And then the next thing you know, they were all sitting there. And he left me there to get dogpiled, disrespected, and all kinds of craziness on his panel. Now, I could have been pissed off at Gene. I could have had a lot to say about that. But instead, what I said was, that wasn't his channel. So I can't put that on him. But this Aubrey O'Day shit, I don't know. It was just like, it was off to me what he had to say.
A little. What's off to me too is
No,
him
because
saying that Kirk
what?
Burrows and Diddy were lovers. Like I said, I'm gonna go talk to Tony. That's all I got to say. I ugh. But the RBO Day thing was off. Why?
Well, my thing is, if you want to say that they were lovers now, but all of these years, if you never said anything before now, why are you saying it now?
I know.
Like why you've been so upfront about so many other things and you've had so much to say. Like there are some things that people have said to us that people have come and said to me about Gene, and I've kept it.
Yeah.
I, I I have not. I have had people come to me and lightweight. I protected it. Like I wasn't going to put
Yeah.
anything out there to intentionally damage him. But I'm starting to have. I got an issue with this Aubrey O'Day thing. Like number one, there is no response to Aubrey O'Day because she wasn't speaking to him. She wasn't speaking to anybody. What she did do was read the affidavit, and he's sitting there and he's talking about, he called them text messages, but he was talking about the emails that Diddy sent her, and he was talking about the affidavit. And what they said was, is that a big light skinned guy who they thought was a bodyguard. Now, Gene, and especially back at this time, he knew everybody
Yeah.
that was working that detail. Matter of fact, he said after he left, people were coming to him telling, that Diddy was like, yo, if you see him, take him down, whoop de whoop de woo, yada yada yada. Like, you don't know who they was talking about in that affidavit? Like, and he sat there and he said that Diddy said to him that he was if they kept, getting out of pocket, he was going, dose them all up, get them all knocked out, and then pimp them out. And then he sits there and he says, man, I heard him saying it, but to know that that happened, oh man, like, and I'm like, huh? I mean, I'm trying not to read anything into the laughing stuff because, he did the same thing when he was talking about, men that had been essayed by Diddy. He said he laughed about, the situation with Derek. I mean, some people, when they hear uncomfortable things, it makes them laugh. I'm not trying to, uh-huh, 50 10-ton gorilla. Yup, that too, see. See, Michael? Now I know you heard me. That Tootsie numb you up so good you won't feel a thing. But that's my point. Like, we could let's just write it all off as a uncomfortable laugh. My thing is he was sitting here threatening to pharmaceutical people out and to pimp them out to people. I don't get it. I just like when I think about when he and I sat down and I had been said what I had to say about Christopher Williams years ago. I said that all the way back in 2020. Matter of fact, it was back in 2020 when me and Gene Deal crossed paths again after all of those years not seeing him from back in the day. He could have said something back then. But for whatever reason, 2024, right before Christopher Williams was about to start trying to tour again, remember? Because Christopher Williams and I have a mutual friend, and they were trying to get him back kick-started again. And unfortunately, people said that because of what I said, they was looking at him funny and they was trying to work on his PR or whatever. And then out of nowhere, here comes Gene Deal saying that I might be mistaken, and that there was another body, not a bodyguard, but there was another guy who worked at Bad Boy who looked a lot like Christopher Williams, and it was more likely that it was him going down on Diddy than Christopher Williams. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You about to fall asleep. I hear it in your voice.
What? No, I'm not about to fall asleep, but I can
Oh.
leave.
You don't have to leave. I thought you was about to fall asleep. I thought I lost you.
No, you thought uh, Gene Deal was dreaming. Am I dreaming like Christopher Williams? Right?
Oh, stop
Because
it. My point
maybe.
is, my point is, I had been said what I said about Christopher Williams. He been knew about it. Everybody been knew about it since 2020. And he waited all the way up until 2024, right before it was time for Christopher Williams to start trying to tour again and to start doing this play and to getting shows at City Winery and all of that. Like, it was my fault that he wasn't working. That's not the problem. The problem was that, like, right around 2021, 2022, that nigga went to Kohl's and stole some headphones. They wasn't even Beats. He stole some $100 headphones, and that shit made it to the news.
Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Ain't your fault.
Like, hey, Maureen, listen to me. Look, his relationship with his mama is all kinds of terrible, but just because your mama roll a certain way don't mean that you have to. I'm sitting here just thinking, like, because when we all sat down, he was very, 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 I don't think it was Christopher Williams. I think, and I'm like, number one, I didn't say I was there to see it. I didn't say I was there to witness it. I told you that there was a witness. And it's funny because they've been trying to get me to give up the name of that witness for quite some time. And now, after hearing what Kurt Burrows had to say in this documentary about how Diddy called him to the office so he could watch him get a BJ, this
Hmm.
was something that he did. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're so busy trying to make me look crazy.
When what they're doing is covering for each other. That's
I-
that's that's essentially what I'm saying. And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying, oh, I know this person lied, blah blah blah. I'm just saying it looks suspicious because these motherfuckers is covering for each other.
like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, so everybody knows that this nigga was known for popping off in people's mouths and for wanting people to walk in and catch it. He got off on that at work, not at a freak off, Not in no hotel nights. No, him. So once again, like I was saying, people have been trying to get me to give up the name of the person that it was. The person that it was that I was looking out for, who got chased out of New York and chased out of Bad Boy because of that whole situation. They wanted that person's name. Apparently, he did it so often, they weren't able to narrow down who it could have possibly been.
Wow.
But think about it. He called Kurt Burrows into the office, and Kurt's sitting there. Kurt said he's seen a woman doing it. But the person that I know that walked in on him saw Christopher Williams. And Christopher Williams is pretty hard to mistake. And more importantly than that, I want to know who this guy is. Now I want to know who this other guy is. Who this other light-skinned guy that looks like Christopher Williams, to try to get me to backtrack off of something, to try to make me look like I'm fucking crazy. Because that's really what that shit was when you look at it now.
Yeah, it was gas. That was gaslighting for sure.
It's straight up gaslighting, because you're sitting there saying, no, Jag, I don't think it was this person at all. I don't think it was this person at all. I think it was this person, and this person did kind of look like Christopher Williams, and because Christopher Williams and whoop de woo. And what it sounds like is that people got together and decided they needed to try to find a way to salvage that weirdo crackhead's whole life. Because not long after that, he was sitting on the Willie D show talking fucking stupid and crazy about me, remember?
Yeah.
Exactly, like he was protecting him. And I wasn't giving up no names. I wasn't giving up no names because I'm not going to put nobody in jeopardy. For real, for real. I am not intentionally putting anyone in harm's way, especially when I know that the people around will stand by and let bad things happen. And guess what? Now that the trial has happened and now all of the intimidation is coming out and all of that stuff, now maybe now people can understand why I do things the way I do things, or why I've done things the way I've done things. But I'm starting to have some real fucking questions to ask, because I'm like, you knew about that shit that I said about Christopher Williams for 4 fucking years. And then all of a sudden, when you finally do come and we sit down together and we do an interview together in Dallas, all of a sudden I was mistaken because you don't think it was Christopher Williams. There was another guy who worked at Bad Boy who looked just like Christopher Williams, and it was probably him who was blowing, you know, blowing off Diddy or whatever the case may be. Well, if you can remember that much, then you should be able to remember who this light skinned guy was in this affidavit with fucking Aubrey O'Day. Am I wrong?
No.
Like, the fuck? Because I'm sorry, there was too much shit going on. There was too much fucked off shit going on for you to always not be around, always not be present. But you heard this and you heard that. Like, that Aubrey O'Day shit, that was a trigger for me. And the whole Kurt Burrows and Diddy were lovers, and you've never mentioned that before? Like, I don't know how many times people have run down on him, how many times, and I've always been on some, no, give Gene the benefit of the benefit of doubt, benefit of doubt, benefit of doubt. But you want to know what else also happened right around the time we did that interview? I got arrested. And he's a cop. You know what else I don't remember either? I don't remember him looking out or reaching out to ask if we were okay. Matter of fact, I got
Mm.
arrested and he left town. He didn't even stay to see if we were all right. He didn't even stay to see if I got out. The fellas didn't want to pay him as much money as he asked for to do that interview. You remember?
Yeah.
They didn't want to pay what he was asking for.
Hmm.
And what did I say? This is an important interview.
Hmm.
It needs to be done. I'll take less money. Just pay him what he asked for. I literally took a cut. I took a cut so that he could get everything. I don't know what it is about that fucking art of dialogue shit that he got going on with this shit here, but it ain't sitting right with me. Now all of a sudden, Kurt Burrows and Diddy were lovers, but you ain't never said nothing about this all this fucking time. I mean, he said some things to me that were kind of questionable when he was like, he sits on his live talking about, yeah, there's some stuff that I could say, but I'm saving it for payday. What do you mean for payday? There's certain stuff that I save up for when I go and I sit down on these platforms. What do you mean that you save up?
Jag, like I said, I told you in the conscious community, that's what they did. They it was all a play. I think a lot. Keefe D, all these people that are, you know, yeah. I think that's just what they do.
My God.
They ain't, get-
I mean,
they
I
ain't
hear what you're saying that he said that about the documentary. They weren't talking the right money. Understand this. This ain't a fucking podcast. This is a fucking documentary on Netflix.
and that's
There's
that's what I
no
was
way in
about
the
to say.
world. There's no way in the world, regardless of what they were offering to pay or not fucking pay. Do you know what that would do for him? Let's not forget he had a whole new book ready to come out and that he released right before this documentary came.
Hmm.
He had that book all squared away. Him being in that documentary would do absolutely nothing but help him sell his book.
Right.
Like, that's free promotion. I don't think it had anything to do with him not being offered the right money. I think it had, number one, whatever the payment is, or whatever, however he chooses to do whatever he chooses to do, documentaries and stuff like this isn't about the money. It's about the
It's about
information.
it's about getting it out there. Exactly.
It's about the information. You're not supposed to be like, and it's the shit that pisses me off when it comes to everybody else. Motherfuckers always want to talk this shit. Oh, she ain't getting no money. She ain't getting paid. She ain't doing this. She ain't doing that. I never asked anybody to pay for my information. I've only asked for people to pay for my time and my safety, my time and my security. That's it. If I would have charged motherfuckers what I got to say is worth, I'd have bankrupted half of these fucking YouTubers. The last time I had a bad feeling about, like, the last time I wasn't feeling an art of dialogue. Well, number one, I told you that shit with him and Dame Dash was looking suspect as fuck. Oh, and by the way, guys, I'd appreciate if we could get at least 100 more likes. I told you some of that shit I've seen him doing with Dame Dash looks suspect as fuck. But when I called his ass out about the Charlie Baltimore interview, when that bitch sat up there lying, talking about She was Biggie main John, and Faith was a side John, and all of this shit, and whoopty whoopty whoop. Like, bitch, please do not put yourself before Kimberly Jones. Don't even fucking think about it. And I called his ass out on that fucking shit, and his video took a fucking hit. I think he had to take that damn Charlie Baltimore shit down. Fucking Tiffany was mad as fuck. Wanna know what's funny? It was Ja Rule that put her on stage to help her gain a little bit of her credibility back, because that art of dialogue shit was supposed to be her pop off. Fuck you,
Mm.
Tiffany. Fuck you. Like, all of these motherfuckers is weird as shit. But art of dialogue, he been skating on the fine line. Like, I can tell you for a fact, I know he puts up lies. Straight
Mm.
fucking lies. He don't get no fuck. And the way he cutting his shit up now, like, he damn near as bad as fucking Antoine Donaldson.
Mm.
From the rooter to the tutter, you would think that shit was a Christmas pig. But yeah, no, some of this shit ain't sitting right with me. So you heard this nigga sitting around joking about, or just not even joking, but talking about, if these bitches don't, start acting right and da 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 da, I'ma dose them up and I'ma pimp them out to my friends. Like, and you didn't warn them? You didn't warn them. You didn't say to them, this is what Diddy is saying about you. I think it's best that y'all get away from him. I don't know if he's serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, there seems like they're just, and then he's sitting up there, oh man, you don't know how messed up it is to hear that actually happened to her. What do you mean? He told you this is what he was plotting on doing, and you surprised? Like, this is the first time I've heard him talk about one of these situations, and I'm like, yo, gee, this shit ain't cool. This shit ain't fucking cool at all. Like I told him, I wasn't there personally to see any of it. All I know is what the person that came to me and said that's what they saw, and they said they saw it was fucking Christopher Williams, and he sat up there and was, oh no, I think I think you saw somebody else. Well, since you know so much, then who is the fucking big light skinned guy that was
Mm.
violating Aubrey with Diddy? Because you know everybody that works there. You know everybody that's on payroll. Who's the fucking guy? Because see, he's tall and he's light skinned.
Mm.
He's always been a little on the thick side. So if it's
Mm.
not you, then who the fuck was it?
Mm.
Like, you fucking know who it is when it comes to the Christopher Williams shit, but you don't know who the fuck it is with this Aubrey O'Day shit. But did he told you he was planning on dosing them all up and pimping them all out, and you ain't say nothing to nobody? Nothing. He's never there for anything. He's never seen anything. And guess what? I'm not saying that's not true, because when a monster's got certain people around that he knows might give him a hard time being a monster, he gonna wait for that person not to be around to do his thing. But this is something different. This is him telling you what he was planning on fucking doing.
Mm.
He gonna have to know something. He gonna have to know something. Like, that's just how I feel about it. Like, at this point in time, he gonna have to fucking know something. Cause I'm really starting to get like a little agitated at all of the fucking presence of law enforcement on this goddamn app, sitting here playing fucking this and playing fucking that, and playing stupid on one day and smart on the other. I ain't even say shit about how fucking disrespectful it was for fucking paperwork to be sitting there making content about fucking D'Angelo after the way they fucking sat there and played a fool all over Angie Stone's life and death. I ain't even say shit. I ain't even say shit about the fact that he's still sitting over there, yeah, like fucking MREC and fucking Babs. They need to change their whole shit over there to the Play in Your Face network. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are talking about Capricorn Clark delusions. There's nothing delusional about Capricorn Clark. Nothing.
Capricorn Clark ain't Cap. Okay. Is that the one that Diddy? No, that ain't the no. I
That's
mean
Lauren.
Tupac.
That's Lauren London's people.
Yeah, got it. Is that the one that Tupac was? Diddy was mad about the pictures with Tupac, or no? That was
He was pissed off at her because she's cool with Suge Knight's baby mom.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Yeah.
Anybody that think that girl is joking about him taking her ass into the park to let her know exactly how he can make her disappear there late at night. Why don't you go and look at the stats about how many women come up unalived, just like she described he said he was going to do to her in Central Park? Like, the only people who would doubt that are people who really don't know how dangerous Central Park gets at night. Like, the simple fact that people don't want to believe her only goes to show that people don't want to believe that image that's on that screen. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, devil worshippers, they don't get no shit. They don't get no shit. You want to know what else is funny? Everybody want to talk about Capricorn Clark being off her rocker, whatever the case may be. But you want to know what's really funny? It was Gene Deal who said that Jennifer Lopez and him went into the park and he was there bodyguarding them before it was time to go to trial, and how they unalived that bird and did a sacrifice there in the park right before he got off for pow pow and Natanya Rubin in the face. Does anybody not remember that?
I do.
Gene Deal told that story himself. He said him and J Lo went to the park. They had a pigeon. They unalived the pigeon and they made a sacrifice. And then they went to and then he went to court. So clearly, Diddy has a history. He seems to have a history of going into Central Park and doing shit in the park. See, that's what I mean. Anybody who don't want to believe what these people got to say. What about Kid Cudi's car? What do you mean? What about it? He boom boomed it up, and everybody knows it. It's just funny how they were able to take that video of what he did to Cassie, the way he stalked her down in that hallway, assaulted her, drug her, put feet on her, drug her, and then when she came back into the room, started humming vases at her. And people actually think that that's somebody saying, calling that domestic violence. That's a little bit more than DV. That's a little bit more than DV. Like, dudes who beat on chicks like that, dudes who do that to women, when they know cameras are present, do a lot worse when they know cameras aren't. I don't like that. How the hell do people see that video and say, "Oh, he was just a bad boyfriend"? Yeah, Natanya Rubin has had a few dead birds on her porch. Like, but when you have people that don't want to believe that there are people working on Luciferian agenda, when you have people who don't want to believe, like, what do y'all think this is all about? Like, I don't think y'all understand. Just because y'all don't want to believe in satanic ritual practices doesn't mean it's not real. Doesn't mean it's not real. I know plenty of people that thought that AIDS wasn't real. And you know what? When they died from it, that's what it took to get them to change their mind. Like, I don't think y'all understand. This is how committed he is. He wears this stuff all over his body. I tried to tell, look, I know you've been listening to me, and that's what I keep trying to tell people. Like, this stuff ain't funny. This stuff ain't funny. People see little nicks and scars and bruises on you, but they don't realize the internal damage that happens as well. Like I don't think people get it. Light brain damage. She was so tweaked out on pharmaceuticals, she was still on Suboxone while she was pregnant with her first child. Like, that's his back. That's his body. Reminds me of that guy from that movie Red Dragon. Remember when he got when he got the dragon tattooed all over his body so he could become, I am becoming the Red Dragon. Like, these motherfuckers is crazy. But whatever. Well, you know what, guys? We're gonna get ready to get out of here. I just wanted to remind people of all the people that's being left out. All of the so-called celebrities, 222. All of the so-called celebrities that all the people that ain't getting mentioned. What did I say the other day when I was sitting with you, Odell?
What was that? What'd you say?
It's like watching a football team play a game.
Oh, yeah. The football analogy. Yeah, great analogy.
The whole team is never on the field at the same time. Different parts of the team play different parts of the game, but they're all working together to win. And God help them if they lose. Ooh, why did a commercial come on my channel?
Yeah, because I remember I changed it from manual.
No, 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 no. No, it was a breakfast sandwich. It looked kind of good.
Oh, well, it's breakfast time, so go ahead.
It ain't no breakfast time. It's almost breakfast time. It's I guess it's breakfast time for some. It's lunch for others. Working on supper for some people. I don't know. I know I need to finish the rest of these pods,
Yeah, go ahead.
but I just wanted to tap in for a second and let me tell you something. God ain't in the business of saving the devil. He's not. But all of these people, they better start waking up. And please notice this ain't me picking on nobody. But when I see something that don't look right, it just don't look right. And it's kind of hurting my feelings. Cause I've always been a big supporter of Gene, but the shit that I'm seeing right now, it ain't looking right to me. They could have just left that whole Aubrey O'Day shit alone. They could have left it alone. That nigga told you he was planning on he had it in his mind to do this shit to these women and you ain't warned nobody. You ain't warned nobody. I tell the truth about something that I know this nigga done. Kurt Burrows saying that he do the exact same shit. And now all of a sudden, like, shit's looking fucking weird. So anyway, yeah, we gonna let this go and like you said, you gonna check into some things and you gonna look into some things and all I'm saying, Diddy. Ugh. He was just sitting there skimming through the interview trying to see what I was talking about.
Yep, that's all. He didn't say nothing bad.
He ain't say nothing at all, did he?
Nah.
He trying to figure out what the angles are. Cause he knows something stinks to all high heaven. That's why. He ain't dumb.
And
I give him
overall,
that.
they just distracting even for the big guy, Trump. Everything's coming out on this. Like I'm just this is ridiculous.
Everybody's trying to play 3 card Monty with reality. One of these days the public's gonna pick the right card. That's gonna hurt. All right, y'all. We out of here. We'll see you later on. Oh my God. Peace.